Joining us now, one of the longest running MMA promotions in the country, Jeff Mayer, joining us here to talk a little bit about Tuff-N-Uff, and Justin Bernard, the announcer. Tell us, first of all, you've got Sahara coming up here for your next event. It's a week from Friday, yes, the 14th?
Happy Valentine's Day. I can't think of a
that's
better way to celebrate your love than watching other people punch each other in the face.
What a great idea.
Thanks, and what a great segue. Congratulations to Caitlin and Asia for retiring their numbers. I think that's very similar to Tuff-N-Uff's, future stars of MMA. Our goal is to put fighters into the big leagues, right? The UFC. So looking back at like Caitlin's, and Asia's wonderful backstory and history leading into where they're going to be someday is similar to how, like, when Ronda Rousey fought at the Orleans Ballroom for Tuff-N-Uff before she became the biggest star in the sport. So thank you for having us, you guys.
Jeff, let me ask you, how many of your alumni move on to these other organizations and start getting paid for what they do? Tuff-N-Uff is the cream of the crop. That's at the top. But then you have the organizations that trickle down that are, Bellator and all those. How many of your guys have gone on to make a decent living in this sport?
Well, we've had over 65 fighters make it from Tuff-N-Uff to the big leagues.
Wow.
But I'd also like to just mention that not only do we, help to foster the careers of any athlete, but there's so many people around the sport besides just fighters that started with Tuff-N-Uff, believe it or not. So, like, I hear it all the time. If you call the Nevada Athletic Commission, hey, I want to be a judge or a referee or a timekeeper, you have to start somewhere, right? So I'm happy to tell you that we've had so many officials, even the biggest names, including the guy sitting right next to me. Justin Bernard started with Tuff-N-Uff. Not only one of my best friends, but he's, I think, the best voice in MMA. Here he is right here. He started with Tuff-N-Uff when he was a little baby. No, I'm just kidding, but like over 10 years ago. And I'm so proud of him today. He's made it to, not only is he the announcer for Tuff-N-Uff, but for Dana White Contender Series, Road to UFC, Power Slap, Fight Pass Invitational. And I'm so proud to see him come up, but thanks for asking.
Thank you for bringing him on. And Justin, let's talk about that a little bit now, what you've been doing, not only the announcer for Tuff-N-Uff, but you just got back from Saudi Arabia, from Riyadh, yes? Because you were doing Power Slap stuff for Dana White with that series. The series Chris is in.
I'm a big fan. I really like it.
Still adjusting to the time zone. It was incredible. What a crowd out there. Absolutely, phenomenal. The sport's taking off like a rocket ship. Again, so fortunate to be able to have a platform like Tuff-N-Uff to be able to get my start and get up onto platforms like Power Slap and Dana White's Contender Series.
I got to ask you, Jeff, you've had some great people come out and do some national anthem work for you, and one of the best.
Only the best.
Only the best. And I think one of them was sitting right here one time. He had his guitar
the cherry red.
Look at that.
Oh, wait, there it is.
That was such an honor.
That was pretty cool. National anthem. Doing the national. Did the people yell Knights when you did this?
They did. I gave a little pause for them.
I think you did so great. Thank you very much, Ron. I think you did awesome.
That scared the heck out of me to do that. Seriously, I mean, enter the octagon, first of all. I'm not going to go in there to fight anybody, but it frightened me to do the anthem. But I'm going to do it again. I'm bringing my wah-wah pedal out with my candy apple red Strat.
Well,
let's go.
On the 14th.
Well, you make us so proud, Ron. Thank you for lending your talents to us and the world.
Talk about your card coming up on the 14th. Who do you have? What do you have? What can we expect when we go and where is it? What about all this? Tell us some details.
Thanks. So February 14th, as I said, Valentine's Day at the Sahara Theater. The main event is two top talented, like I'd say, up-and-coming fighters, Eric McConaughey versus Buddy Wallace. Each of them have fought for Tuff-N-Uff a number of times. We think that they're both on the cusp of greatness and hopefully going to be getting to the UFC very shortly. Eric McConaughey comes to us from Arizona at the MMA lab. Buddy Wallace is returning from, he just had an impressive win with Tuff-N-Uff 2 events ago. Yep. And so he's going to be, they're going to be fighting for the actual vacant championship title for the first time that Tuff-N-Uff's now doing professionals. I'd like to invite anybody that's in driving distance to please come out to the fights, watch Ron shred his guitar to open up the anthem, and watch these two killers. And in addition, you can watch it live on Fight Pass. The professional fights are live on Fight Pass, and the amateur fights, the undercard, is going to be broadcast live on the UFC Fight Pass's Facebook and YouTube pages, offering just a huge amount of exposure for our up-and-coming athletes, and I'm so proud of all these fighters. Justin, you want to talk a little bit about maybe like, the co-main and anybody else stand out, like Jessie Rubio? She's amateur fighting. She's defending her title.
Oh, good.
On
Okay.
this card.
We got about 30 seconds.
All right, go.
So real quick, Justin.
Co-main event sees Leon Shavazian taking on Ariane Tavares. Great fireworks added to that card. Co-main event's going to be explosive, and of course we got Eduardo Pena taking on Benavidez, local favorite Eduardo Pena from his father's gym, Sergio Pena. So we're excited about that one.
All right, nice. Don't forget, 14th, huh?
That's right, February 14th,
Awesome.
Valentine's Day. Come show your love, and we'll see you there.
Justin, Jeff, thank you very much for coming in, guys. We really appreciate that. Sports Wrap, we'll be right back after this.